Okay, yeah. What have you been watching then?
I watched season 2 of Primal.
How was that?
It was good for being essentially completely nonverbal.
Dang, really?
It's like a caveman and a T-Rex like screaming at each other.
Is it like a cartoon? Or
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
Okay.
I thought I walked in on an episode where like there was like an Englishman guy talking or something.
There was like an interesting one-off where,
where there was some talking.
involving Darwin.
Oh, Darwin.
Yeah, he was actually there. So interesting.
In the time.
What is the premise of this show?
Well, basically, like in the beginning, the caveman's roaming around by himself, and like he has this skirmish with his T-Rex, and through some antics, I don't really remember all in the first season, like they become friends, and so then they're like traveling through the landscape, like fighting random creatures and bad guys, and just killing a bunch of shit. Surprisingly good though.
Okay.
But isn't it? It's made by Genndy Tartakovsky, right? Same guy that
Yeah.
did Samurai Jack. So
Yeah,
there's
I
a
know.
pedigree there at least. Did you watch anything else?
I probably did. Nothing's like kicking off in my head right now.
Well, I'll go through mine, and then if you think of anything,
Escape
let
from
me
Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood.
know. Oh yeah, how was that?
It's not bad, but I was feeling kind of shitty just laying on the couch. So
Well, I did finally get out to the theater and watch Avatar.
I've been meaning to, but it's 3 hours. I'm like, where am I going to find 3 hours?
I mean, yeah, it is a 3-hour tour, but I do encourage people to do it because, like, I don't know, like, even if you didn't like the first Avatar, like, I don't know if you'll like this one, but I just feel like watching it in 3D, like, it is an experience.
Yeah.
And, like, I even think, like, I like the first Avatar, and I think overall, like, I probably still like the first one just a little bit more, but this one's like the 3D effects I thought were even better than the first, and like the underwater scenes especially look really really cool.
Okay.
I mean I think it's worth the 3D ticket just for the experience. I thought it was pretty cool. I will say though, like my eyes were getting a little tired after 3 hours in 3D, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's well worth the ticket.
Okay.
And it's made like gobs of money. Like
I heard. I think it's like up there, like top 3 or something all time. Right
I
now?
think it's somewhere between like 1.5 and 2 billion right now.
Wow.
Like yeah, it's doing well.
I heard they're making like 5 of them.
That's the plan supposedly. Well, I think when he filmed this one, like he basically filmed 3 and 4 as well.
Okay.
So like there's at least 2 more. And then but I think the plan is 5.
I mean, why stop now, right?
Yeah, you might as well keep going. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I will say, like, and I heard some critical reviews of it before I went to seen it that said this, like, there's a scene every now and then where he films it in like really high frame rate, which kind of gives it like that motion smoothing you see on like modern day TVs. I don't know about you guys. I turn that feature off on the TV because I don't like it. I
It
think
looks very like almost too realistic.
yeah, it makes things look weird. I don't like it, so I turn it off. So those scenes I thought looked a little bit weird, but other than that, like it looks pretty good. And like I said, the underwater scenes look really fantastic. I finished season 3 of Barry. Good show. I don't put it like as high as some people do on their TV list, but I did like it. Also on HBO, I watched a movie called The Menu. Have you guys heard of that?
Oh, I know.
I almost watched it, but I didn't.
So basically, the premises of the movie is like there's this really exclusive like restaurant on an island that basically only rich people can afford. So this group of rich people go there, and like Ray Fiennes plays like the master chef. He's like this famous like chef, you know, that runs the whole thing. But they start like bringing him kind of like these weird like courses of food. And then, like, I won't spoil it, but you can probably guess just from, like, the trailer and stuff that things eventually get violent. And, like, you find out, like, what's going on eventually and why. And it's kind of a commentary on, like, the rich, basically, and art kind of, too. I liked it. I feel like a lot of things on this list is like, yeah, I liked it. I don't know if I loved it, but I did like it, and I think it's definitely an interesting movie.
Oh, I saw Ajay and Rama watch this movie called White Noise. I saw it on there. I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. And I was like, man, this sucks. And I watched the whole thing too.
You did?
Did you guys finish?
No.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That's my rapper name, White Noise. Except I take out all the vowels and I spell noise with a Z. I started the third and final season of Stargirl because, of course, I have to watch all these DC superhero shows. I made a deal with the devil, but actually, it's a good show. Like if you're looking for like a, if your kids are freaking out because you're watching The Boys in front of them, maybe switch over to Stargirl. Also on the DC like superhero stuff, on HBO they have a bunch of those like kind of animated features that DC pumps out. So that Green Lantern one on there, I think it's called Green Lantern Beware My Power, and I like Green Lantern, so I checked it out. It kind of centers around John Stewart, the African American Green Lantern. I liked it. Like I don't think it was fantastic by any means, but it's fine. And then finally, and you watched it before I did. Oh, that's another thing. That movie Barbarian.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
So here's the thing about this movie is I remember when it was coming out, like, I saw some people online that are like, don't watch the trailers, try not to get spoiled for this movie, like, you don't want to know anything, you want to go in blind or whatever. And like, I don't really follow like horror movie shit, so like I did go in blind because I never was spoiled on it or anything. But they're like, it takes a turn like somewhere, and like you don't want that spoiled. And I won't spoil it here, but I'll just say like,
I kind of want to spoil it.
have you seen this movie?
I've seen the ending, so you could spoil it.
Oh, so you know.
Yeah.
Okay, spoilers. Oh, I guess. But here's the thing. What I'm getting at is like when that came, like I was like, it could have been any number of things. I didn't find it all that like shocking or like innovative or anything. Like I was just like, this monster could have been like any horror trope.
Yeah, but what it was makes it kind of grotesque.
I mean, yeah, visually it is grotesque.
Well, not just that, but okay, here comes the break. So it turns out to be this like gigantic inbred woman with saggy tits.
Yeah.
And she's like mentally handicapped, and like everyone she meets, she wants to make them her baby. That's the that's the terrible part. But like she has a couple people trapped at one point, and she tries giving them a bottle, and it's so like disgusting. I'm like, oh, don't drink that. No. The one woman drinks out of it. And she's like, just drink it.
Oh god.
Oh, that was traumatizing. That was bad.
I mean,
The rest of it, I was like, okay, but that part was like, that stuck with me.
but
Like
still,
if I was gonna have a bad dream, that would be it.
like the implication, like of like the guy that sired all these kids and like just like kept like committing incest, like generations worth of incest. That's pretty disturbing.
Yeah, no, that was it's creepy. When they first introduced that guy, I just thought he was gonna be like a serial killer.
I mean, that's kind of what they made you think for sure.
But yeah, it's it's creepy.
But
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like just turn into like a slasher flick because that's kind of what they made it sound like. But it was just like weird horror creature feature in the end.
well, when I heard people talking about it, like, oh, it went somewhere I really didn't expect. I was almost hoping like it went the other way. Like you would expect like this, like all this grotesque shit, but then like it's not that. Like that was kind of what I was hoping, but no, it just kind of does get grotesque.
Well, because of the name Barbarian, I thought that there was going to be someone who's just like goes in there and tears down shop or something. Like I was expecting some crazy shit.
I mean, it was crazy.
It was crazy. It was uncomfortable.
Guys, I was like, I'm trying to find. I don't have like any like a lot of stories this week, so I was like, man, can we find some more to talk about? But I think that covers everything I watched. I don't know if you guys can think of anything else. Oh, didn't you want to talk about
Ant-Man Quantumania?
Yeah, the
trailer?
Ant-Man trailer came out. Okay, so what do you think of it?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. I do fear that they might have. I hope they didn't show too much in the trailer, just because like there is a point at the end where Ant-Man says like, "Okay, I don't need you to. I don't need to beat you. I just need you to lose as well."
Right.
So like that makes you think like he sacrifices himself at the end or something, you know? And
I'm guessing he doesn't though.
okay,
But like, what do you think? Because like Kang is like, I can offer you like the one thing no one else can, time or whatever.
yeah, with
you
his
know?
daughter, he lost those 5 years with his daughter.
So like, what's Kang in the comics? Like he can like straight up time travel, can't he?
Yeah, he almost controls the timeline. Like he's very intertwined with it.
Because like in Loki, like they had all these like, you know, split variant timelines. And so like I didn't know exactly how his powers worked or like what he could do exactly. Or like would he be offering him like he can go live like this variant timeline where like he never separated from his daughter, something along those lines? I don't know exactly.
The
how it
comics are very unclear, but sometimes they mix it up. Like sometimes it's like the same timeline that he can go back in, and sometimes it is like a new timeline that's formed when he goes back. So it's not consistent.
works. Okay.
Yeah. Because I just recently went through a comic and they had like both scenarios in the same comic almost, like a little mix of both. I don't know.
I did see like somebody took a still frame and of this trailer because it like goes by fast, but apparently like MODOK is in the
Oh, yeah,
the
MODOK.
movie.
He's played by the guy who played the
From the first Ant-Man, right?
Yellow Jacket. Yeah.
Yeah, Corey Stahl, I think.
Oh
his
yeah, I
name
think
is.
you're right.
That character is like always. I've just always been like, it's such a goofy character, like in the comics.
I'm very interested in how they like portray that character on the screen. It seems like something that would be difficult to take seriously. So I don't know.
It's been a minute since I watched Ant-Man 1. I was thinking, didn't that guy die or did he not?
Ant-Man?
Oh no, his Bumblebee guy.
Oh yeah. Well, he got like contorted and became like tiny, but all his body parts seemed like they were breaking while he was doing it. So I don't know how he survived that and became MODOK, but
I guess they can be like, oh, someone found him and like, you know, Frankenstein him into MODOK, I guess.
his arms and legs were useless at that point.
That's coming out pretty soon, like next month, right? Ant-Man?
Yeah, it's coming out pretty soon. I'm not sure about the exact date, but I think it'll start kicking off like phase 5, I guess, of the MCU. Like this new Secret Wars and stuff like that will start stemming from this.
Oh, Quantumania is like the first one in this new phase.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shorter phase though, right? Because they have like, I don't know, a couple movies and then eventually they have like those two Avengers movies and then like,
Yeah, but I think they're going to do the same thing they did with like the first few phases. Like they'll sprinkle in like other characters' movies that are tethered to it, probably that like build it up.
Are the Fantastic Four in this phase somewhere?
I'm not sure. I'll check.
Yeah, I
on
forget.
that. I think I did hear they're coming up with a movie pretty soon, though.
Yeah, I think it is supposed to be, but
Yeah, I mean it would make sense because in the comics, Reed Richards is like the great ancestor of Kang. It's kind of left. It's kind of left up to the reader to like kind of choose between him and Doctor Doom, who's the actual like ancestor of Kang. But
oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay, so like one of them is related to Kang somehow.
Mm-hmm. That's why in the comics Kang can never kill Doctor Doom because he's like, I might be related to this guy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.